Most binary traders don't lose because their indicator is bad. They lose because they take every single arrow the indicator gives, including the arrows that show up in a flat, sideways market. And that one habit is enough to finish an account. So today I want to show you a different way of taking signals. Not just an arrow on the chart, an arrow that has to be confirmed by three things sitting right there on your screen before you even think about clicking buy or sell. A lot of you emailed me after my AM Quantum Binary Signals and AM Quant Pro videos, asking me to cover the newest tool from AM courses, the AM SuperTrend PRO Engine for MT4 and MT5. So here it is. One thing before we begin though, this is a tool from my own platform, so please treat everything I show you as education, not as a promise. I'll give you the rules, I'll take a live trade in front of you, and you decide for yourself. Now, the one thing you need to know before we go any further is this. The signal is closed candle only. No arrow ever appears on a candle that is still forming, so whatever you see on the screen stays there. No guessing, no disappearing arrows. Everything else, the dashboard, the filters, the exact rules, I'll explain live on the chart because it makes far more sense when you can actually see it. This indicator works for both binary and Forex, so I'm making two videos. This one is completely focused on binary, 1-minute chart, 5-minute expiry. Forex comes in the next video. Stay with me till the end, because near the end, I'll show you the one filter that keeps you out of the trades that usually destroy a binary account. Let's now copy the signals from this indicator to execute a trade in the live market and see how it performs. Look at the screen carefully before I touch anything. The arrow has printed on the 1-minute chart, but an arrow alone is not a trade. So go to the dashboard on the left. Macro trend, bullish. That's the EMA 200 telling us the bigger direction is up, and you can see that yellow line sitting well below price, sloping upward. Market state, trending, and it's marked clear. Momentum, strong buy. Arrow up, trend up. Market moving, momentum up. All four agree, so this qualifies. And the candle has closed, which is why this arrow will not disappear. Now I place a buy, and the expiry is set for 5 minutes. Now watch what happens, because this is the part nobody shows you. Straight after the entry, price does not run up. It comes back down and dips below my entry line. Right now, this trade is showing a loss. This is where most beginners break. They panic, they close early, or worse, they open an opposite trade to cover it. Do not do that. And here is why I am not worried. Look at what had to happen before that arrow was even allowed to print on the chart. The super trend had to flip direction. Price had to be on the correct side of the EMA 200. RSI had to confirm momentum in the same direction. A DX had to be above the minimum, which is what pushes the market state from ranging to trending. And the signal candle itself had to close in the trade direction. That's the price action filter. If even one of those disagreed, no arrow. The tool simply stays quiet. That's why the dashboard also shows you volatility and pips. It's telling you whether the market is moving normally or expanding abnormally before you commit. So by the time you see an arrow, 5 conditions have already been checked for you. Your job was only to confirm the dashboard and wait. And that is exactly what we're doing now. The super trend has not flipped, the structure is intact, nothing has been invalidated, only your patience is being tested. Also, you don't need to sit and stare at the chart all day waiting for this. Pop-up, sound, and mobile push alerts can notify you the moment a qualified signal forms. And the same rules work on both MT4 and MT5. And now price pushes back up, above the entry level. The last few seconds run down, the expiry hits, and the trade closes in profit. If you want to work through this properly yourself, the AM SuperTrend PRO Engine is on our official website, and I've linked it in the description below. You don't just get the indicator file. The package includes the MT4 and MT5 versions, a step-by-step installation guide, the full user manual, and the complete trading strategy and risk rules handbook, so every filter I just explained is documented for you. Practice it on a demo account first, until you can follow the checklist without thinking. Now let's go back to the chart and wait patiently for the next clean setup. Now look at this setup, because it is not the same as the last one. For a long time, price was sitting below that yellow EMA 200 line, and you can see the earlier sell arrows on the left of the chart doing their job in that downside move. Then price builds a base, pushes up, and closes above the EMA with a strong candle. That's when the dashboard flips. Macro trend, bullish. Market state, trending and marked clear. Momentum, strong buy, and the buy arrow prints on the closed candle. So, this isn't a random arrow in the middle of nowhere. It's a signal that appears exactly at the moment the market changes character. That is the kind of arrow you want to see. Buy placed, 5-minute expiry. Now, right after the entry, price barely moves. One small pullback candle, and the trade is sitting almost exactly at the entry level. No profit, no real loss, just flat. And a flat start is uncomfortable, so let me show you two things on this dashboard that keep you calm here. First, look at the number in brackets next to market state. It isn't just telling you trending or ranging, it's giving you the actual strength reading behind it. On this setup, that number is noticeably higher than the last trade we took. Stronger reading, stronger conviction. That's a detail most traders never look at, and it is right there on your screen. Second, look at volatility. It's shown in pips, so you know immediately whether the market is moving normally or expanding abnormally. On this entry, it's normal. No news spike, no violent expansion, which means a slow start is expected, not a warning. So, strong trend reading, normal volatility, super trend still holding below price. Nothing has broken. We wait. And now look what happens. Price expands upward, candle after candle, and the super trend line climbs right underneath it. The clock runs out, and the trade closes above the entry level, in profit. Compare the two trades you've now seen. The first one dipped against us and recovered. This one went flat and then ran. Same rules, two completely different journeys. And that is exactly what real trading looks like. Now let's go back to the chart and wait patiently for the next clean setup. We don't chase trades. We wait for the market to come to us. This third setup is the most interesting one of the three, so watch it carefully. Look at what happened just before the arrow. The market was climbing steadily, and then one large aggressive candle drops straight down and knocks the super trend from bullish to bearish. That single candle shakes out everybody who was long. But then price recovers, the super trend flips back to bullish, and the arrow prints on the closed candle. Price is still comfortably above the EMA 200, the macro trend is still bullish, and the dashboard confirms trending with buy momentum. That's the setup. Not a fresh trend, but a trend that survived a shakeout. Buy placed, 5-minute expiry. Now, straight after entry, price sits almost exactly at the entry level, slightly under. Nothing is happening, and here I want to be honest with you, because this is where the tool earns its value. Compare the dashboard numbers on this trade with the previous one. The trend strength reading is lower. The momentum reading is only just above the threshold. Both are still valid, both still pass the rules, but they are weaker. That's the point of having actual numbers on your screen instead of a plain green light. The dashboard is not just telling you yes or no, it's telling you how strongly yes. And the second thing to watch is the super trend line itself. It changes color with the trend, so it gives you a live invalidation level right on the chart. As long as it stays under price and stays in the buy color, your setup is intact. The moment it flips, the market has told you something changed. You don't need a separate tool for that. One more practical point, every filter you've seen me use is adjustable in the settings. If you want fewer but stronger signals, you simply raise the minimum strength requirement, and setups like this one would be filtered out. The tool adapts to how selective you want to be. Price lifts above the entry line, holds there, and the expiry closes on the correct side. But look how close that was. The distance between the entry and the closing price was small. The trade won, yet it was nothing like the clean run we saw in the previous example, and that difference was visible in the dashboard numbers before the entry. If you want the full framework instead of just these examples, the AM SuperTrend PRO Engine is on our official website, linked in the description below. Now let's go back to the chart and wait patiently for the next clean setup. Now I want to show you something different, and I want you to pay close attention, because this is the trade you are not supposed to take. A sell arrow has printed. Macro trend says bearish. Market state says trending. So far, 2 boxes ticked. But look at the third line. Momentum. It does not say strong sell. It says weak. And that word is the whole lesson. Our rule is simple. Macro trend, market state, and momentum must all agree, and momentum must be strong. Here it isn't. So by the rules, this arrow should be skipped. I'm taking it anyway, deliberately, so you can see with your own eyes what happens when you ignore one condition. Sell placed, 5-minute expiry. And look, almost immediately the market goes against the trade. Price pushes up, away from the entry, and this position is deep in the red. Exactly what a weak momentum reading was warning about. Now let me show you two things on the dashboard that were telling you this in advance. First, that momentum line isn't just a color. It gives you an actual number and labels it strong or weak. Most tools show you a green light or a red light. This one shows you the reading behind the light, and this reading was sitting right on the borderline. A borderline reading is not permission to trade. Second, look at volatility, shown in pips. Compare it to the earlier setups we took. This one is noticeably higher. The market was expanding, moving harder in both directions. And look at that yellow EMA 200 line on the chart. It's completely flat, with price crossing back and forth over it. Flat macro trend, high volatility, weak momentum. 3 warnings on one screen. Every one of those filters is adjustable in the settings. By the way, if you set the strength requirements higher, an arrow like this never appears on your chart in the first place. Now, watch the ending. In the closing moments, one large candle drops sharply and price collapses below the entry level. The expiry closes on the winning side, and this is the most important sentence in this entire video. That trade won, but it was still the wrong trade. So judge yourself on whether you followed the checklist, not on whether the trade paid. Now let's bring everything together, because across these 4 examples, you've seen the complete picture. The first trade dipped against us and recovered. The second one started flat and then ran cleanly. The third won by a narrow margin, and the dashboard numbers told us in advance that it would be a weaker setup. And the fourth one broke the rules, went against us almost immediately, and only survived because of one late candle. Same tool, same rules. 4 completely different journeys. That is what real trading looks like, not a straight line of wins. So keep the process simple. 1-minute chart, 5-minute expiry. Wait for the arrow on a closed candle. Then check the dashboard. Macro trend, market state, and momentum must all agree. And momentum must be strong, not borderline. Stay away from flat markets, ranging conditions, and the window around major news. If even one condition disagrees, you skip it. And skipping is a decision, not a missed opportunity. Please also remember that some trades will lose no matter how well you follow the rules. No indicator can guarantee an outcome, and trading involves real risk, so never use money you cannot afford to lose. If you want the full framework rather than just these 4 examples, the AM SuperTrend PRO Engine is available on our official website, and the link is in the description below. You don't just get the indicator file. The package includes the MT4 and MT5 versions, a step-by-step installation guide, the complete user manual, and the full trading strategy and risk rules handbook, where every filter and every setting I've shown you today is documented in detail. Practice it on a demo account first, until reading that dashboard becomes automatic. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, or write to our support email. We reply every day. And this video covered binary trading only. In the next video, I'll show you how the same tool is used for Forex, with the higher time frame workflow, stop-loss placement, and target management. So subscribe and turn on the bell, because you don't want to miss that one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.